Welcome back to Just Callum and my channel. Today we're doing another setup and review. Today we have Vango Sol 300. This is a 3-man tent. It can be used for standard camps, it can be used for wild camps. It is a bit bulky, but it is incredibly comfortable because of the amount of size on the inside. So let's set this up, show you how to do that, and give it a little review as well. Let's get to it. Okay, first thing you'll notice is, like a lot of these Vango tents, you have a carry handle. Very useful for attaching to the bottom of your backpack, or if you want to fix it to the top, is something to tie down with. So let's get this open and start setting it up. That's your outside, that's your inside. I'm going to lay the inside down first because it's got a ground sheet on it. There are 2 poles when setting up this tent. There is a shorter one and a longer one. So that, I believe, is a shorter one. That will go at the back, and the longer one will go at the front. Find the slot. Here's the little sleeve. All this does is just slide straight through this sleeve here, all the way through, and clips into the other side. Now I've got that one through, which is good. I can do the back one. Got the 2 pins on the 2 sides, on the back, like so. And then the same on the front. Now, one negative about this tent is because the poles are on the inner liner, it means you have to set the inner liner up first before setting up the waterproof section of the tent. Now, on a day like today, that is no problem at all. But if you were to go camping and it was tipping it down, it would of course be a problem. Take out 2 front peg out points, and then I'll open the back up and you'll see how much room there is actually in the tent. Bear in mind, this is a 3-man tent. Okay, so that's the main sort of sizing area of your sleeping area in this tent. It is listed as a 3-man tent. There is enough room for 3 people, and there is a bit of a vestibule as well, so you might have room for your gear too. An easy way to work out whether the front is on the rainfly is find the zip. And this specific model only has the 1 zip on the door. And that is my peg out point for the back. So I'm just going to peg that out just behind my first peg out. There we go. Like so. Then I'm going to put my 2 front pegs out, and you will possibly have to adjust and alter these pegs, and that's no problem because as long as you go around and you make sure the tent is taut, there won't be an issue with its stability. Okay, so that's the tent all set up. Let's get inside the tent and see what it's all about. Right, first thing you'll notice, the door, as with almost every single door on every single tent, you can roll it up. Just use the little toggle. The internal one's already done. Let's have a look at the size. Oh, well, straight away I can tell you this is massive. You have a hooking point up here for a lantern of some kind, another hooking point down here for another lantern, which is good, so lanterns both ends if required. There's pockets on the interior sides here where my hand is on the left, and the same again on the right hand side. You have another big pocket here for your phone, your glasses, your torch, charger, whatever you need. Let's have a look at the length. I've said before in previous videos, I'm 5'10". I have about 8 inches above my head, oopsie, and I have about 4 inches below my feet, so there's plenty of room lengthways. Even in the side points, you still have enough room for someone who is about 6 foot tall. Anything more than that, and it gets a bit too tight. So, space-wise, in length, is fantastic. Lots of room, lots of space, and you're not going to feel cramped at all. Width-wise, well, as I say, you've got 1 spot on the left, 1 spot in the middle, and 1 spot on the right. Now, the one thing I would say about every tent is they always overestimate. Without question, They say 2.5 man tents are 3 man tents, 3 man tents are 4 man tents, and so on and so forth. So expect it to be a little bit tight because it will be designed for 3 people laying down bolt straight and sleeping like that permanently. It's not practical. What I would say is this is probably a brilliant tent for 2 people and all their gear inside the tent. Regards to their gear, you have got this little vestibule here. Now, as the wind's just opened it for me, this slants off and there's a front, so you could probably put 2 backpacks and 2 sets of shoes in the front there quite comfortably, and obviously have then a bit more room inside the tent for sleeping and cooking and so forth. Alternatively, if it's just the 2 of you and you have your gear inside, you can put your cooking stove out here, you can put hot things, drinks and so forth out there, just to avoid any damage or spillage possibly happening inside the tent. Cool. So that's the Vango Sol 300 size and putting up. Nice and simple, as you can probably tell. So what's it like to put down? Well, let's find out. So first things first, you want to do, as you do with every single tent, is take the pegs out. So nice and simple, like so. Okay, so now I'm taking that out. I should be able to just grab the top middle and give it a tug and pull it over. There you go. Now what I will do is I'm going to leave the door open because it makes it easier when you're putting it up next time, not having the door flapping around. So I'm going to leave it tied together with these little toggles like so. But I am going to find the top middle. You'll notice this by a kind of T-junction of seams like this. See? So I'm going to grab that T-junction and find the back middle, and it'll be the same situation. You've got a cross junction or a T-junction of seams. I'm going to grab that, and that just folds the whole tent rainfly in half. Bring those 2 seams together like so, and then just nice and simply lay it down and roll it up. Now I'm not going to roll it up just yet because I'm going to put the internals inside it to protect the internals from any possible water damage if the tent bag were to be snagged, ripped or damaged, and of course then leak into the actual tent. So the rainfly will protect the internal. Take the 2 front pegs out, like that and that. Take the poles out. Right. First pole done. One thing I will also mention is the tent poles on this tent are not very tight. So if you're finding that you're having to force it, don't force it because it means it's probably snagged on something. So make sure if you do take them out, don't force it because it will probably be snagged on some sort of material and you don't want to rip it. So there we go. The wind has already started folding it up for me. Brilliant. Same situation again. I'm going to find the middle. I'm going to fold it in half. So the middle will be exactly 90 degrees to where the back line is. Fold this corner and this corner, the opposite corners. Like that. Grab my poles. Is that wide enough? No. So I'm going to fold this edge. I'm going to fold from there down over to match the width of my poles. And once I've folded that over, I'm just going to start wrapping it. Now the brilliant things about these Vango bags is they don't zip open, they open from the top with a string that is tightenable, which means getting them into the bag is so simple and so easy, as I've just done it right in front of you without even having to use any effort whatsoever. And because there's so much space left, I don't have to worry about putting my tent pegs with my poles when I wrap it up, so I can just sit them on top. I would always say make sure, and I probably said this in previous videos, make sure you get yourself some quality tent pegs. The ones that are always supplied with any tent are never really high quality. So get yourself some heavy duty tent pegs, because you'd rather have heavy duty when you don't need it, and then have light duty when you need heavy duty. So pop them just down the side, and then because I've done it up so tight, neatly, I can pull that taut, slide that down, and then, as I say, it has this lovely little strap system. Just wrap that up and put that inside. Lovely little strap system where you can just clip these two in like that. Tighten them up with these little toggles. And you're away, even with your little handle, like so. That was the Vango Sol 300. Is it a good wild camping tent? Well, yeah, it is. I would say it's a bit bulky, but if there's two of you and you're splitting everything, carrying the weight separately, then I'd say this is a great option to have, especially for space. It has a 3000 rated hydrostatic head, so it's not ready for storms. But if you're doing some light summer wild camping, maybe even some spring and autumn wild camping, this is probably the tent for you. It is fire resistant and it only weighs 2.86 kilos. It's actually not my tent, but I thoroughly recommend having a look at this if you're looking for a wild camping tent. It's a brilliant option for wild camps and just normal camps on a campsite. So I give this tent probably a 7 to 8 out of 10. Well, if you've liked this video and if you've liked the tent, then please do drop me a like. Please also leave me a comment in the comment section below, and please feel free to subscribe as well. And do ring that little notification bell so you're aware of any time I upload shorts, videos and so forth. This has been the Vango Sol 300 tent review. As I say, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.